So I'll share this a little bit later, but just FYI for those of you who haven't been on today, we should hopefully, I'm gonna come back to this in just a minute. Oh, we should get our emails tomorrow, our data tomorrow. So everything's been broken out, everything's ready to go, by who's getting what. I don't know with the format, if that's, if they're going to break it out all the way out for us. I assume so, because on some of the city stuff, when they were getting in to do the breakdowns in Texas, it took them a little extra time to do that.
At least they were able to do it. That's good.
Yeah, they were able to do it. It took a little extra time. So I'm assuming the only thing really to break out will be the non-metropolitan Texas areas. Like I have a few Texas, Michael has a few Texas, Taylor's got some South Texas and East Texas, which I really don't know exactly, if he had a specific actual geographic area in mind, or if he was just thinking, whatever. But anyway, outside of Houston, DFW, San Antonio, what else? Houston, San Antonio, Austin, which is where Brian is, South Texas, East Texas, then we have some non-specific Texas. So we've got about 5,400 leads there that we'll have to kind of probably just, again, not really break out, but it'll just be each person that's supposed to get some will just get what they're supposed to get. And we don't know exactly specifically what part of Texas it'll just be. But my point is that should be the only part that is not broken out by the time we get it tomorrow. I'm doing the ACH wire in the morning, first thing, because by the time I got the invoice, it was like 10 minutes to 4 and my bank closes at 4. They really seriously have banker's hours. It's really ridiculous. So I talked to them like 2 seconds before they close, so I can do that in the morning. Once the wire is received, the data will be coming. So hopefully we'll have our stuff to y'all tomorrow afternoon, God willing, but tonight is not really about that, but it's kind of in anticipation of what we kind of expect and hope. Again, with these, with these opt-in email things, we want you to know what to do with them once you get them and get ready to enroll them and place them. On the share plan, there is a, and I know, some have more experience with others, and I've kind of helped a lot, and I'm still going to help a lot with, kind of helping to tell each person kind of where that person probably should go. But we're going to start the basics. Okay. This is where we're going to start at tonight. And I hope everybody can see this, right? Yeah. Everybody can see that. Okay. So this is you, and it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter if you're me, doesn't matter if you're Phil, doesn't matter if you're Andy, Todd, Paula, John, it doesn't matter. It all starts with you and where you are. Because again, the placement procedure is the same. It doesn't matter where you really are physically in the tree yourself. It all starts with you, and you are, again, right there. So in order to, and I know, I apologize if I'm seeming a little, I don't know, elementary with this, but I want to make sure everybody understands. So I am, let me add Kim real quick. Hold on 1 second. Let's see. Hold on. Okay. All right. So I want to make sure everybody understands. So it all starts with you. Okay. And then it starts with 2 people. You've got to add 1 person left and 1 person on your right. These are the 2 people that will form the legs that you will build under. Paula is my number 1. John is my number 2, even though they signed up like within like an hour, I think, of each other. But they were my first 2 that signed up. But Paula is my strong leg on the left side, and John is my strong leg on the right side. They are the basis of what this team has really kind of become. Now I have some, because I have other legs besides them, but they are my two main legs. So it all starts with you, and then a 1 and a 2. When you get to this point here, you guys, you become an associate, and that opens up the compensation structure. But again, this is the first step. Okay. U plus 2. Okay. And again, I apologize for sounding a little elementary, but I want to make sure visually, because I'm a visual person too, I want to make sure everybody visually can kind of see and understand. So it's you and 2 people. Okay. So then you go, well, Cherry, what happens next? Good question. So the answer to that is, go back to where I was, because I'm sorry, I had closed all my stuff up. Let's see. Okay. Once you get to, this is copper, which is up to $1,000 a week. Don't worry about none of that right now. Just focus on, again, this is the next step. So you go from adding 2 people, which is what associate is 2 people, to 8 to get to copper. Again, you are here at the top. You're always the apex. And I should have marked this in, but I didn't. This is your number 1. This is your number 2. And you build under them. And you add, and this is the way this works, guys. You're always adding in 2s. So your first 2 people are your first 2s. Then under those 2 people, you're adding 2 people apiece. Okay, that's going to get this number 1 to an associate because they have their 2 people. And this is going to get your number 2 to an associate because they have their 2 people. Okay. And then to finish out copper, you've also got to have 2. So you got to have 2 people left. And to think about this as having a line right down the middle. Okay. You've got a left side and you've got a right side. This right here, honestly, copper is really the basis of this whole business. If we could get everybody in our downline to at least copper, I mean, your structure would be crazy. It really would. And I know you're thinking, well, oh God, it's only 8 people. It's only 8 people. And really, you hear, like on the contest stuff, when Jason and Blake and them talk about stuff, they give us extra points on our contest stuff for people to get people to copper, because they understand if we could just get everybody to copper, that's, again, probably, as for the most part, that's, I mean, honestly, that's a great foundation for everybody. So again, associate, which was the 2, and then copper, which is the next step. Now, this doesn't mean that you're going to be left to figure these bubbles out by yourself, because you're not. Okay. Now let me back up and say this too. All the ones that we're going to go over tonight are already in the chat. Those have been loaded in as a PDF into the chat, and I can email this to you. Email this to you individually and go through this with you individually, but I don't want you to get lost. I just want to introduce this to you if you've never seen this before. Hopefully, this is not the first time you've seen this, but I want to show you how easy it is. Just again, and I'm going to help you. Paula on my left side is going to help my left side people. Brian's a pro at this too. You got John on the other side, and we're all going to help each other. But again, just remember, it all starts with you and adding your first 2 people, and then we're helping those 2 people to get their 2 people, and then we have to add 2 more to get you to 8. So you go from 2 being an associate to 8. Okay. What else do I need to say at this point? Because I feel like I'm missing something that I probably should have already said. And I don't know, my brain's like fried.
I don't think so, Jerry.
I mean,
think you're
really, I
good.
mean, it's just a simple structure, you guys. It really is. It's just a simple structure. And now, these are the charts that you can download and print and kind of write people's names in it. We do kind of have an interactive chart, but it was created by Chris West and Andy and Phil, and only the 17 have editing ability. So so the best thing for you to do is to print out one of these for you and start keeping up with who is placed where. Because if you look at your Downline Explorer, you are going to be extremely confused because your Downline Explorer is not this. Your Downline Explorer is anybody you are getting points for. So you may have people like I do. We have people in our Downline Explorer off of Andy's team because Andy is a left side team like I am under Phil. So my point is, you need to know exactly what your actual structure looks like of who is actually personally enrolled and on your team. Don't go by the Downline Explorer because again, you will be confused. You'll start seeing, oh, I got people. Well, you do because you're getting points for them, but they don't really belong to you. Is that a right way to say that, you guys?
Yes.
Okay. And you'll get very confused. So you always need to know, and guys, seriously, you should know either because if you don't know who your 1 and 2 is, you should, because every time I enroll somebody for you previously, I have told you specifically what to do, where they go, all this kind of stuff. Now I need to update the chart, our big team chart. I haven't updated it in a while. Honestly, we lost 40 people this morning due to inactives. And I woke up bronze. And so I'm trying to play catch up. But my point is you always need to know who is actually on your team specifically that either has been added by you or me. And again, it's either going to be one of those two situations. It's either going to be somebody that, through this email thing that you've added. And again, it's going to be a coordinated effort so that you know where that person needs to go. Okay. And again, we're starting with 1 and 2, and then adding their 2, and then adding the second one. See, it basically goes like this. There's you in the purple. 1 is here, 2 is here, which is your left and your right. And then you basically go in order 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And I should have had one that has numbers on it, but I didn't do that. But I can make you one that has numbers on it so you know specifically. Oh, I take that back.
I think you should do that, Sherry.
Okay, hold on. Let me find it.
It would be helpful for me.
Okay, hold on. Let me think for a minute. Where is that? That's in my file section somewhere. Where is my placement guide? Where is my placement guide that I can actually get to? Okay, hold tight. I'm gonna email it to myself. This happens when you've got too many things going on at one time, and you've got aha, there we go. Okay, there we go. I'm going to open it up and send this in here. Hold on 1 second, y'all. I'll just do it this way. I just loaded the PSI placement guide into our Telegram, which it was already in there. Honestly, it was already in there. It was probably already pinned at the top anyway. Okay,
Mhm.
let's see if I can. Let's see. There it goes. It's downloading. Give just a second. Internet's slow. Beep, 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 beep. Almost there. Almost there. Come on. Okay. All right, here we go. All right. Placement guide, placement structure to gold. Okay, that's the only this is the only problem though, is that it's sideways. But
Uh,
yeah.
mm,
Ah,
There you go. Oh,
you go.
there you
Woohoo. Okay.
you
All
got
right. All right, hold
it.
on.
Okay. Very
Okay, let's go
nice.
back.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So there you are, an associate right there. One. Can y'all see that? Okay.
Yep,
that-
yep.
Guys, okay. So associate is you and you're 1 and 2. Okay. Feel free seriously to take screenshots. Like I said, this is going to be recorded. Feel free to take screenshots. Okay. So this is your associate, you and your number 1 and your number 2. Okay. Just like we went over before. Okay. Here we go. Here's copper. This is what copper looks like. And I'm a visual person too, you guys. But this right here, I mean, this is the basis of your business, is getting to copper. Really. I know they talk about associate, getting to associate is important because it is, because it unlocks the compensation plan. It does, or the share plan. It is important. I'm not saying that this right here is not important, because it is. But if you can get to copper, copper is where you will be in a situation where you'll start actually having enough points that you should be earning a check at least once a month and paying for your autosaver. That's why copper is so very important, because then you're on the plus side every month. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Again, this unlocks the compensation plan, you plus 2, not diminishing again how important that is. But this right here gets you in the profit margin category every single month, because you've earned enough points. And again, and here's the thing about these about inactives. All the other team members that I talk to, they always focusing on doubling up. Like they don't want to have just enough people just to be copper. They don't want just 8 people that's active. They always want 9 or 10 or 11 or 12, because you're always going to have somebody that goes inactive. Now, let's go over that again too, while we're just being very basic. Being active means that they have an active autosaver on each and every month. Okay. Now, they can also be active by purchasing coins or jewelry that total 15 points a month. But they're going to pay 2, if not 3 times as much for what one autosaver is going to cost them. So the autosaver is the cheapest route to accomplish staying active each and every month. Okay. Honestly, we have a lot of people that are just doing just the Sound Money Wallet, and that's okay, because that's what they want to do for them. And you guys, we have to do what's right for them. Okay. And if them just buying bullion is all they want to do, that's okay. Let them do that. If they just want to buy Silver Eagles from the Sound Money Wallet, let them do that. But our job is to explain, okay, remember, you guys, the autosaver is not required. It is not. But if they are wanting to earn additional income, they either need to do the auto saver, which is the cheapest route, or purchase 15 points a month. They do have an option, but the auto saver is the cheapest option. Okay. And again, don't worry about having all of the answers. No one's expecting you to do that. I just want you to understand, for your own understanding, for your own mind, I want you to understand for yourself what being active means. Okay. That just means we have to add more people who want the auto saver. That's really what it comes down to. And you guys, your auto savers is where your points and your ability to earn points each and every month and create that monthly residual check is going to come from. It's from us adding as many auto savers as we can, as far down as we can. Because look, guys, you can build as far down with people as you want to go to infinity. Okay. That's what Bob Reed has done. Bob Reed, you guys, on the 1st and the 15th of the month, he probably loses about 10 grand on those 2 weeks in points, because he's not far enough outside of gold. But anyway, my point is, just focus on you understanding what active means, focus on what you understand is what the auto saver means, and focus on what your personal goals are. Okay. What do you want to accomplish each month? Do you have a dollar figure? Or is it, hey, I just want my auto saver paid for each month? Okay. Well, that means copper. This right here will help you do that. Okay. So again, that's why tonight is really important as we start moving into this marketing scheme. And I feel very, very confident, you guys, with us moving into that we're going to see some enrollments come from this. But when we get ready to do this, I want you to understand how this works, so that, you know, when you and I have the conversation about where your people need to go, you'll know. And it'll be more like confirmation from me. Hey, Chair, I'm just checking in with, make sure this is where this person needs to go. Right. That's why I want you to know. Okay. So any questions on copper? Because again, do y'all understand why copper is so very important? Copper is extremely important for us building your business. And look, guys, this is a business. This can be a part-time passive business. This can be a full-time, on the go all the time business. And I'm hoping one day that will be me. Full-time in 7K all the time. Right now, I'm not there. So it's really busy, but I like being busy. I love watching us go and do our thing. But I want to make sure that there's some understanding, because I see a lot of terms being thrown out, and I think people don't really understand words like associate. What does that actually mean? What does active actually mean? What does an auto saver actually mean? So, I mean, some of those key words that are used in the PSI chat all the time, and and this is no disrespect to anybody, but there's an assumption that people have spent time and learned what those words actually mean, and that's not necessarily the case. And that's okay. That's okay. I just think we need to take a little more time to educate and teach and train those who are willing. This is not for everybody, okay? But you guys that are here with us, this is what you're wanting to do. And so this is why I think this is extremely important. Okay, so again, we're going to back up real quick. Associate, got to get there. That means you've got to have one left and one right. That's active. Now, what happens is we had some people that were active and had a bunch of people to associate level, and then we've lost some people. So now we're having to play catch up and re-add people. And we just hadn't had the number and the volume of enrollments that we did at one point in time you know. So we're having to kind of ramp things up, but you got to stay an associate. You got to be active yourself, which means active on an autosaver, which is your cheapest route to go. And again, you're number one, and you're number two. Okay. All right. Then you've got copper. Again, there is that's your line of progression. You've got your number one and number two under you. And then we just add across. Keep it, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Look, I don't care if they want to be an autosaver. I don't care if they want to be a business builder. It doesn't matter. The biggest thing that matters is putting somebody that on your chart that is going to be a business builder or someone that's going to do the autosaver. The autosaver is the most important thing, because those are the people that you don't have to worry about replacing when someone goes inactive.
I've got a question.
Okay, go ahead.
So like, well, let's say your number two person just decides to quit 7K altogether,
Okay.
Will 7K let you replace that spot, or is that spot just dead to
Okay, so
you?
what happens
And
with that?
you got to build the whole line.
That's a very good question. Okay. And Paul will chime in on here whenever you get ready to. If you reach a time period, let's just say somebody's been inactive, say number two. All right, let me back up, Mr. Phil. If number two cancels, period, if they cancels, that whole side is gone. Those points are gone. Those any active people are gone. It's like they don't even exist. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, second scenario, if number two just goes inactive, we can continue to get points for 5 and 6. Okay. But number two is not getting paid. Okay. But if it goes too long and 2 says, hey, Cherry, I'm not going to renew it all, we can transfer number 2's membership and business to somebody brand new that wants to come in and take that spot. But number 2 has to sign a form saying that they give permission for the new person to take their spot.
Yeah.
And honestly, we've got a couple people right now that are not even communicating, and we're going to have to replace them completely, plus their 3 active people under them, because they're not going to sign the transfer form. So this is not like what I've usually, if I was in another business and I've done other stuff, normally we would have people that would just move up and take number 2 spot, but that's not how this is. So if they cancel or don't renew their membership, like number 2 right there, it does pose a problem. It really does. And again, you're going to have people that go
Hey,
in.
Cherry,
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
isn't that the advantage of having the business family pack so that you can control those spots?
Yes. So that's why Bob recommends the business family pack. But I will say this, that is because that's a lot though, asking of a new person, but I will say this, but you're correct. The business family pack that Bob talks about is where you come in and enroll, and then you enroll your spouse or another family member, and then you create a business account for yourself under the number 2 position, just so that you can control and make sure your number 1 and number 2 never go inactive and or cancel. That is correct. But I mean, Bob, the way that Bob, and this is no disrespect to Bob. He has so much knowledge, you guys, but that's asking a lot for somebody to come in with 3 $4.99 packs or 3 $1.99 packs just to get started. But if somebody came in that had previous experience, that understood the model, they would understand why it would be advantageous to do that. Yes, it's a little more upfront cost, but you're right. I mean, That's why he promotes the family pack that way, so that it always maintains his number one and number two. But honestly, when I got in, I had to scrape up $199 to get in a year ago.
Yeah, me
Now
too.
this year, it would have been a little bit different story, but whatever. All right, Brian, go ahead. Your hand's up.
So what one of my main people did is he came in with the 199, and then a month later he brought his wife in for 199 instead of doing the auto saver after a month, because it still made him active. It was her placement. So he used that first month to learn, and then he paid for her membership and placed her on his left side. And he's put in his LLC paperwork. So he's still waiting on the EIN to come back. So on his third month, instead of doing the $140 auto saver, he can spend $200, get his third membership, make it his personal placement on his right side. Then he's set up, he can let those two positions go inactive. And then he can put an actual person on his left that wants to build, an actual person on his right that wants to build, and focus on building them. And then if for any reason he has enough points to get a check, but one of those real people goes inactive, he can buy a coin under his wife or buy a coin under his LLC to make him an associate so he can still get his check.
Well, and see, and I was going to go back to that too. So like number two, and I've done this a few times. I've gone under number two and bought coins to make number two reactive, just so I can preserve that line. I've done that. But now, how many times do you want to do that, and for how many different people?
Right.
But again, there's no magic formula, really. I mean, there is, but I'm sure let me back it. I know I made some mistakes when I did some placement, because I really was trying to figure out, look, when I came in, I signed Paul and John the next day. We were averaging 10 to 12 appointments a day, and I was teaching school. Look, I don't even know where some, you know what I'm saying? I was following the formula. I was following the chart and trying to, it was still crazy. There's still some people I know that I shouldn't have put somewhere and stuff. But, knowing what I know now, there's always a best case scenario. The best case scenario would be to do the family pack if they could do that, or like Brian's suggesting, spread them out like that. But then if you're in a situation where you're going through a massive enrollment situation and you're just adding people, they don't have 30 days to wait. They don't have 60 days to add that LLC, or their position is going to be gone. You can't really afford to do that, or I couldn't in that situation, back then. But, I know there's always a best case scenario. There's always, and some of this, guys, you won't know what I'm talking about until you experience it for yourself. And you go to bed, like John and Paul have gone to bed as silver. They woke it up as bronze, the people below them just, and it falls apart in about a matter of just a blink of an eye. And then you're trying to figure out, well, how far down is the problem, and what's going on, and all this kind of stuff. And, like I reached out to people over the last 2 days that their autosavers didn't process on the first. Well, why? I don't know why in the world I'm having to reach out to people, and why they don't know that it didn't come out of their card, but they're like, it's just amazing to me. But anyway, so my point is.
Oh, wait. Are you telling me on the first, some of them didn't process?
I had 7 on my right, just on my right side alone.
Because I noticed every other month, it's not been consistent either. Like,
No.
what the world is going on?
Their autosavers are not processing for whatever reason. Either it's a card issue, they got a new card, and they're not going, oh, that's right, I got a new card, or my card's expired, or whatever's going on. But I had 7 just on my right side.
Well,
So
me too.
I got 140 points.
I didn't get the points either. And I'm like, what's going on?
Well, that's because they're not, it didn't go through, and you won't find out. This is what I talked to the mods about. I want 7K to fix. I want to be notified, or can we be notified when these people, when the autosavers don't process, so we can reach out to them and help them. I can't reach out to them until they go inactive.
Yeah, it's just it.
So when they went inactive, as of yesterday, there are 40 people that literally went inactive yesterday, just yesterday. Okay, so that's what I did, was try to figure out, okay, and all of them were from the first. All of them,
Wow.
all of them. So, and then you spent time going through there, and someone's like, oh, you know, whatever. But anyway, my point is, you don't know that there was a problem with an autosaver until they go inactive, because there's not a notification system. So when we go to leadership, because I got my invite to leadership for Salt Lake City. That's one of the things we need to ask is why, you
Yeah,
know, is there a report that can be ran like by the second or the third to say, okay, hey, these 25 autosavers didn't run for the first, whatever reason, doesn't matter.
right.
But that way I can do a better job of helping them figure out what's going on and all that kind of stuff, rather than waiting, you know, until the 6th, until they go inactive, and then, you know, trying to
It's
fix
just it,
things
yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I know I know I got off topic. I apologize, but anyway, but just understanding again, you guys, what it means to be an associate, what that means to be active, what the autosaver options are. You know, you got to have some background, you got to have some knowledge, you got to be able to answer questions as we're going through here and talking to people. And then you also need to know how to build quickly. Because here's the thing. All right, let's go back to this real quick. This is $500 a week. That means up to $500 a week. Well, let's say you make 1 week, you have enough points for 1,000 points, but you're only an associate level. Guess what happens? You only get paid on 500 points, and you miss out on the other 500 you would have gotten just by not being copper. Because here you go from 500 a week up to 500 a week. Copper is up to $1,000 a week. So again, you're only talking about 6 more people to make sure that you're, you know, have the ability to earn twice as much per week. And honestly, the 1st and the 15th autosavers are the biggest 2 of the entire month. We all know that. But that's, again, that makes sure too that you are maximizing your paycheck as much as you possibly can and helping your team to do the same thing. Because just by getting them from associate to copper, that does save a lot of people from getting all of the points that they're entitled to. Because say, for instance, you know, the first step is like 250 for right now, and then it goes to 500. Okay, if you earn 750 points, you don't get the 250. It's either 500 or 1,000. So what happens to the extra 250? If you don't have a leadership credit where it keeps that 250 in your bank, then that goes to loyalty points, which you still can buy coins with your loyalty points, but you don't get paid on them. So again, by adding 6 more people, we can go from associate to copper. And that really just, again, you are grounded and founded in and ready, you know, to kind of really kickstart and maintain your business. Does that make sense, you guys?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Copper. All right. So again, 2 with associate, 8 is copper. Bronze is 22. See, and as we go up rungs, we get a little bit wider. Okay. So in order for me to show that to you, I had to move out a little bit. Okay. Here's still your 1. Here's still your 2. Now bronze is up to $2,000 a week. And again, you know, copper and bronze is really, honestly, for most of what our team members will do, that will totally exceed their expectations. And I mean, really, 22 people, okay? So here's the breakdown on the progression of where that goes. You have your 1 and your 2. Again, following the same copper model. Basically bronze is 2 coppers, and then two extra people. You got your left side here, like I said, again, just like drawing a line down the middle. You have your left side. So you have 3 personal enrollees. You got a number 1, a number 7, and a 21 left. 2, 8, and 22 are your personal enrollees on your right side. And then you've got under 1 and 2, you've got, their main 2 people. That's 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. And then you built them and made them an associate. So you got 1 copper here. This is a copper. Okay, see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 1 copper around number 1. There's the second copper around number 2. And then you've got 2 extra people on the left and 2 extra people on the right for 22. And really, like I said, copper really gets you into the profit margin column where your autosaver is paid for, and you're basically paying for your autosaver with commission money. Bronze will get you into a more than once a month check situation, should be, for the most part, typically on the 1st and the 15th, typically, because again, those are the 2 largest weeks of the entire month. Does this help seeing the breakdown and the numbering, as in what order they need to be added?
Yes, very much so.
Okay, let's back up and let's do something real quick. Okay, so under associate, I'm gonna zoom back in for a second. Under associate, your 1 and 2 enrolls under you. Your enrollment link is www.7kmetals.com/ whatever your username is. Okay. You can't remember what your username is. It is in your back office under your profile. Come on. Under your profile. Okay. And it's listed for you right there in your profile that you could literally copy and paste. Okay. It says username / website. There is your URL that you would give to, where did you go? Oh, where'd you go? Okay. Oh, sorry. Nope, not that one. Not that one. I want that one. I don't want you. Ooh. Where is my? There we go. Sorry. That's where you're going to get that. That's your website. You're going to give your 1 and 2 to sign up under you. You're going to place 1 left and 1 right. All right. To do that, when someone enrolls, and I apologize because I know some of y'all know this, but when someone enrolls, also in your profile section, they will go into your holding tank. Guys, you should always use your holding tank for your enrollees. On this genealogy settings right here, you should never change it to auto place to the bottom, outside left or outside right. You should never change that. You always want them to go into your holding tank so that you can decide where you want them to go. There will be if someone enrolls, there will be a place left or a place right button that you can click. You always want to control where you want that person to go. Because look, if you had it not set like that, and you went back to, come on, Terry, you went back to your, I'm telling you, I'm struggling, you guys. You went back to your You went back to your thing and you needed, say you already had somebody here and you needed somebody to go here on the place right. And you didn't have it set where you could actually place them. You could end up with 2 or 3 people over here and still 0 over there. That's why you always want to leave them in the holding tank. And that way you can get them placed correctly, okay? And this happens, you wouldn't believe how many times I've sent directions about where to place somebody. And anyway, so make sure you understand about that, because holding tank is very, very important. That way you are in charge of deciding where your enrollments go, so that you can get to associate, number 1 and number 2. All right, when you get to copper, okay, when you get to copper, okay, you got number 1 and number 2, okay. Now 3 and 4 are going to use your number 1's link, not yours. 5 and 6 are going to use number 2's, okay, because they are enrolling under them. Okay, don't freak out, because these people 3, 4, 5, and 6 are still your people. They're still yours. Okay. I know some people are like, oh my God, you know, that I don't want to enroll somebody under somebody else. Well, these are your people though. This is your team. You're building your team. Okay. Then 7 and 8 are your people. These are yours. Okay. All right. When you get down to bronze, let me back up just a little bit. When you get back down here to bronze, okay.
Okay.
You've got 3, 4, 5, and 6 are all under those. So see the different colors. All right. So the light blue of 1, 2, 7, 8, 21, 22 are your personal enrollees. They're people that you're going to use your link for to enroll those people. The darker blue, the navy blue, are under your 1 leg and 2 leg. Okay. And then the gold or the yellow is building 3, 4, 5, and 6. So those are their people. But again, guys, the whole thing is your team, because it wouldn't be a team without you right there in the middle, up top. Okay. And I'm going to show you something that's going to make you a little bit happier. Okay. If you forget, don't pay any attention to this real quick. When you get to this last page right here, I know you can't really see it. I don't know. Why is it not showing me? Anyway, there are directions right here that will tell you where to place so-and-so by the number. It'll say use.
Oh, that's neat. They give you cheat sheets.
Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. Okay. Use your link for number 1, number 2, wkmails.com, use your name. For copper, you need 2 left, 2 right for personal. Use your link for 1, 2, 7, and 8. Use 1 link for 3, 4, and then 2 for 5 and 6. I mean, you really can't mess this up. You can't, back up, you can, but this is a very good guide. For associate, for copper, and for bronze. And you're going to use this with, with our charts. Let me go back to where it was. With our charts, and I didn't get into silver because silver is kind of a little bit crazy, but there's your associate, there's your copper, and there's your bronze. Look, guys, I'm telling you, we can talk about silver, but silver and above. It's all about building your team to associate, copper, and bronze, and building a foundation to start on. Now, having said all this, I am not going to turn you loose until I know that you know what you're doing. And I don't mean to be a mama about it, but in order for you to progress as quickly and as painlessly as possible, you need to be asking, where does my next enrollment need to go? Whose link do I need to be sending out? Okay, you need to be doing that until you know these charts, backwards, frontwards, inwards, outwards, You can recite them in your sleep. And again, guys, it's not for not trusting anybody because it's your business. But I'm just telling you, follow these progressions. And if you will follow them to the T, you will rank up. Your pay will increase. Your weekly pay will increase. And you can start using your commission money to pay for your silver. That's the point of 7K. That is the reason Phil got into 7K. And but you've got to form a basis of where you understand these three structures. You've got to understand associate, copper, and bronze and what it's going to take to get there, at least, if nothing else, right here. Copper will get you into the plus column. We just need, and again, I feel very, very confident with the email marketing stuff. I really do. I really do. But I wanted to show you this tonight so you could kind of understand how to follow. So I just put this PDF into each of the Telegram groups. I put it in the regular chat channel, into the silver group, in the silver training group. It's in there. You need to download it, you guys, and get it where you can start studying on it and understanding what it's going to take for you to get. And think about yourself personally first. Okay, think about where you are personally first and what your next step is. So if you're an associate right now, you need to be thinking about getting to copper. And that's all right now. Don't think about bronze until you get to copper. Okay, that's your next step. If you're copper, you be thinking about, I pick at Brian. I'm gonna pick at you for a minute. Brian, how many you need to get to bronze?
I need 10.
10. He knows. That's what I'm saying. You should know how many it's gonna take you to get back to where you need to be. Just because you got to understand where you are, where you want to go, and how you're going to get there. You got to do that. All right, questions. And if you don't feel comfortable asking them here, text me, call me, email me something. Please don't sit there and say, I understand, or making me assume you understand and you do not. Please don't do that. You're only hurting yourself. But again,
Hi, Sherry, I got a question.
Go ahead, shoot.
I'm sorry about that.
No.
You mentioned earlier, Sound Money Wallet is actually a way to keep people active.
No.
How does that actually work? Not that I'm going to promote that, but I mean, for those who don't want to do it, it's always a possibility.
It's not going to keep them active. It's not.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Only the
misunderstood.
autosaver or buying 15 points worth of product each month, which is going to be a collectible or jewelry. Because jewelry does have some points. It usually only has a point or two, but they do have points. The Sound Money Wallet is bullion, and we do not make any points at all on any bullion purchases at all. So no, I'm sorry if I misspoke, Michael. I apologize for that. But
I'm just glad we cleared it up.
yeah, no
worries.
No. Hey, Brian, go ahead.
Sure.
Coin drop also makes you active.
Coin drop also makes you active. And
Yes.
if you add somebody as a personal enrollment, I think that also does too, but I need
Definitely.
to clarify about
Yes.
that.
It does.
100% it does.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right, Kim.
Mine's just more of like a customer service oriented question.
Okay.
So let's just say number, I don't know. I'm just looking at bronze or whatever. So number 5, let's see. And you go to sign somebody up under them, but say number 5 is just a member and they just do their autosaver each month. how do I like bring that up to and be like, hey, I'm going to send somebody your link. Do you mind going into your back office and placing them left or right? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you bring that conversation up to them when they're probably like, I have no idea. I'm just getting my autosaver. Does that make sense?
It does. I always ask them if they're comfortable in doing that. They will tell you if they are absolutely closed to that or if they are open. So here's my thought on that. Let's just assume for a second that number 5 does not want to do that. Technically, then they're your number 19
Okay.
and they're out to the side, because you don't want to build under anybody that is absolutely not open to the idea. We have some that just they just do not want to participate in any of that, even though it's literally going in there and clicking one button that's going to take them 30 seconds to do. And you can explain that to them. All I would need you to do, they may ask you, okay, Kim, what does that actually entail? Well, that actually entails 2 things. Number 1, you keep your autosaver on and active each and every month. Secondly, when I text you or call you and let you know that you do have an enrollment, you go into your profile section, go down to the holding tank, and either click place left or place right whenever I ask you to do either one. That's really it. And a lot of the times they'll go, oh, that's all I have to do. Yeah, that's really kind of all you have to do. Oh, so I don't have to make calls like you? No, you don't have to make calls like I do. So sometimes it's just taking that weight off of their shoulders of the expectation that they've got to have all of the answers, and they may be open to it. But again, if they're not, they become your number 9. They become number 19.
Okay, I got a question. So are you saying these are the people that really don't want to get into the business side? Is that what you're saying? Is that the scenario? Okay,
Yeah, like if I just had somebody who I talk to and they just want their autosaver each month, not even interested in the business side, probably hasn't
Okay.
even asked about it.
Gotcha.
Like, I was just wondering, how do I bring up that question of like, hey, can you go into your back office and do something for me?
yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
good. That's good. That's a
Because-
good
Yeah.
point to
Because
bring up.
again, look, guys, look, you can have as many autosavers and as many people in autosavers as you want to. This is a lesson I've learned. If they are not receptive, or even, if they're you just got to ask, because it's better for you to ask up front when this scenario presents itself than it is 6 months later when you're trying to figure out what's going to happen when that leg collapses. It's just better just to have as many extra people in autosaver as possible, because you're getting points for all those people, than it is to really focus on the people that really kind of do want to get themselves into the profit column and earn some extra money. They don't really have to really be one that's going to be a go-getter per se, but who are just open to the idea. But if they're very closed off and they're very nervous, and we have a lot of people, you guys, that are really just, and historically across 7K, 85% are just members, period. So it's okay. It's absolutely
So-
okay. Go ahead, Kim. Go ahead,
So
Kim.
by that theory, then you can have a lot more people under you than just, so these numbers are strictly just for like to build. So you can
Yes.
have more people under, okay,
Yes.
gotcha. Because
Yeah.
I'm thinking like I have to do every single enrollment I get by this structure. That's not the case.
And I did that. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
I followed this sucker to the absolute, to the T.
Okay,
And it works most of the time. But what happens is we'll get into a situation and they really were not really, they felt like you pushed them into it kind of thing. And I just wouldn't. I would rather let them be an autosaver and just let them be happy, and then
Okay.
feel like I pushed them into something that they really were not interested in at all. Some people have had some bad experiences, you guys, with MLM, this is not really a true MLM anyway, because we're not doing inventory. There's no resale of products or anything. But so they're very closed off. And that's okay. So if they want their autosaver, you can have as many of these number 19 stuck out here to the side and number 20 stuck out here to the side. You would be much better off having a bunch of them than them being a number 5 and you having to worry about, is this guy going to be active all the time?
Mhm.
Because I have one guy that's a copper that's under John, and John knows what I'm talking about, that I've had to buy a coin now for like 6 times from him. And it's just super frustrating. And I mean, he was, it's just frustrating. So I'm just saying, there's a little bit of a line there. I'm not saying that you don't need to kind of follow and understand the structure, because you do, but just be really honest with them and let them be really honest with you, and you listen and say, okay, you want to be autosaver? That's fine. You can stick them out there to the side. I would not put them as somebody that you are actively building under, because they just don't want to get into that. But that's, great question, Kim. Great question. All right, you guys, what do y'all think?
Hey, sure, it's Michael again.
I just
I-
Go ahead, Michael. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Michael.
I was gonna say Phil's coming, so we all
I
gotta
know.
hurry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other night we had another training regarding emails.
Mhm.
Did that ever get recorded? I was trying to find it, and
Yeah.
I guess I'm.
Okay. So I started it, and then I let Taylor be the host, and he recorded his part, and he did upload it into the Telegram channel. It's up a ways.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah, I'll try to find it and tag you in it. But yes, he did. He did a wonderful job.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a
no
bad
worries.
idea he did, because I'd like to go back to that too.
Okay, I will do that, and I will pin that. That's why we're trying to figure out the best way to share documents. Like, I could do a Dropbox. That was one of the suggestions about doing a Dropbox, but then I'd have to share that with everybody that requested and wanted access to the Dropbox, rather than going to one
Yeah.
place where all the documents
That's
are
a good
loaded.
idea. Yeah.
But anyway, Michael, I may put you on that. We talked about a little bit about that the other day too. And I've got to get
Yep.
back to that, but, because we do need a centralized place where we can upload everything, and it doesn't matter who it is. Each person on the team can go there and view and download whatever they want to. We really, really do need to do that. But yes, in the Telegram channel, the silver group, it's in there. It's just probably up a ways, because we've been talking a lot about this email stuff here lately. So things tend to get a little
Yep.
bumped up. But I hope this
Okay, no worries.
guys was super helpful. Just again, so you can see visually, where you are and what you're doing. Miss Karen, I'm gonna work on yours tomorrow. I need to update some stuff. Honestly, I just haven't updated it. So I need to update some stuff. But like I said, it really, honestly, that chart really could change multiple times a day, depending upon who is active and inactive in the morning, from the evening. It's hard keeping up with everybody. And but anyway,
We almost have to
go ahead.
we almost have to know who's inactive, and especially who's not renewing.
Yeah.
We have to kind of keep track of that, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
We don't want to put somebody
I've
in.
only talked to a couple people that are not renewing. Most everybody I've talked to so far is renewing. And so, but yeah, we're at the point now we need to, I almost really want to redraw the chart and start over and figure out, who's in, who's out, who's inactive, who's not inactive. Because, I mean, we've got so in a year we added almost 2,000 people in this team. All right, we have 542 people that are now inactive. scattered all over the place. And so it's just, and that changes from day to day. Like I went from silver to bronze overnight because I lost one more personal person
Yeah.
to being inactive. And you know what I'm saying? I mean, you literally could spend all day on the chart trying to figure out, you know, what's going on with that and all that stuff. But like I said, going forward, I just wanted everybody to kind of see where we were, what the progression is as we go through here. And these really, guys, are people who are either lukewarm, semi-warm to the business idea, or at least warm enough to the idea that they want to make profit by getting to copper. And again, we're just going to have an honest conversation and say, look, you know, and now the beauty of that, though, those conversations could change too. So your number 19 over here could decide to blow it out of the water 6 months later. Okay. But I don't know. I just want to offer you some advice I kind of wish I had, you know, getting in. Not that things would really have changed a whole lot. I had to learn a lot of stuff on the fly, but we really just didn't know, and trying to figure out where people should go and what the best thing was to do. But anyway, it's okay. Everything worked out great, really did. And it's been a blessing.
Just an example, I had no intention of having anything to do with the business.
No,
I just wanted to buy silver, you know, but then 3 or 4 months in, you think, you know, you understand it a little bit more.
yeah.
And man, all you have to do is get 2 extra people. I didn't know that when you know,
But she's
I
also,
didn't know that.
I know, but I'm also laughing because I was like, hey, Miss Karen, look, you know, and so by then, you know, she started to see the bigger picture too. And it's just, and honestly, like Paula and John, this is our running joke with our, so Paula and John were my first 2 people. John is my number 2. He signed up on a Wednesday. Originally his appointment was on Sunday. And if he had not moved from Sunday to Wednesday, it took that Wednesday appointment, he wouldn't be my number 2. You know what I'm saying? It would have changed just that quick. And
Yeah.
Saw the potential. I was like, get me in now.
I know. Well, it was a miracle of God that I went on PSI and I go, I am so bummed that I didn't get an appointment, and Sherry saw it.
yes, I was like, hey, I got you. So
And I'm like, oh my God, are you for real? And yeah,
yeah.
it was so.
Technically, I was like,
Unreal.
hey, I'll be glad to help you. And Paula was like, and who are you? How do I know that you're with?
Yeah, I wasn't sure because she sits and direct messages me, and I go, how do I know this is real? Because I've been scammed before, you know. And so I had to reach out to Phil because he wasn't busy then.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, she's legit. You can work with her. And okay,
You
great.
checked out and everything. It's so funny.
Yeah, it was God's way. That's all I can explain it.
But it was great though. It really was great. But
Yeah, and then we just got same things in common with work, and I just knew it was just meant to be.
definitely. No doubt. All right, you guys, I don't want to keep you any longer because Phil's on.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank y'all for tonight. I appreciate it. I will upload this probably in later on tonight when I get finished getting the recording stopped and everything. But hopefully tomorrow we'll have our data. So let's
Thanks,
go.
Jerry.
Let's do the
Thanks,
thing.
Sherry.
Bye, everybody. Thank y'all so much for being
Bye-bye.
absolutely
Thanks,
just.
Jerry.
Thank you.
Hey, Michael, how are you?
I'm good.
Good, good.
Thank you so much for doing this tonight.
Absolutely. I'm glad that everybody was on, and I really appreciate everything that everybody does. And you and I need to get together though. Seriously, we need to figure out where we're going to do the upload stuff too, because that's
Agreed. I've actually been using Trello for, work and personal reasons the last few weeks. Just, again, I've used it before, but they've actually done some modifications and done a pretty good job with it.
okay.
I think that would be a good spot to start. I mean,
Okay.
you literally have a board and everybody can go to it, and they do, the cards can be, basically all the different things you're wanting to share, and you just literally hit it.
Well, the cards are
download it, and
topics.
done.
So like you could do topics.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. So like you can make a list of cards that would be like, let's say for enrollment, and then another list of cards for get started here, and whatever you decide.
Okay.
So
that would be
it's
great.
very linear, and I think it would work pretty well actually for what you're wanting to do.
That'd be great.
And I think you can get started free, and then if you want all the upgraded features, which there's not that many we could take advantage of, maybe a calendar, things like that.
Yeah.
It's only $10 a month.
Well, I mean,
Heck, I think we
that
could
would
all do that.
well, the thing is that would be a business expense anyway. That's something you're gonna,
Yeah.
expend for your business. So you could just, do that as a tax write-off. But
Yeah, well, it'd be $10 a month for the entire team. I mean,
oh, well, see, I'll
we
do
wouldn't have
that.
to all have their own.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll do
I
that.
mean,
Okay, well, I will
Yeah.
work on that and get that going. And then, like I said, hopefully we have our data tomorrow and we can get started with our stuff. But I will go into the Telegram channel right now and tag you in Taylor's video section of that. And then he also
you.
put all of the documents in there that he's using, like the scripts and stuff that he came up with. They're all in there too.
Okay.
Yep, they're
Oh.
all in there.
There you go. Yeah,
All right, guys.
I tell you what, one final thought. If Phil does not get his internet figured out in Arizona, I'm going out there literally and help
I
him.
know.
That poor guy is crazy. I don't know. Locals just went off and back on about 3 times since we were talking. I don't know what's the deal.
Yeah, I
Dang it.
haven't even gotten on yet. I see. I
Yeah.
just posted on D Live, and it's sometimes it's hit or miss there too. So you never really know what's
Yeah.
going on with that. So
I like the locals idea. I mean, it definitely a lot better quality for sure, but
yeah,
got to get the issues figured out, guys.
Well, I
Oh,
know.
goodness. Anyway, that's enough of that.
That's enough. Yeah. Well, I mean, I know, but I mean, it's just you would think, with him being so OCD about stuff, he would have figured that out by now.
Well, that's the thing. Everybody screams about it. It ain't work. Listen, I guarantee you, he goes off and he's screaming at himself. Dang it! God dang it!
yes,
Probably the worst
he
guy
is.
ever on himself
He
about
is.
it. So
Sure.
look, I'm patient, but in the end, he's got to have some help.
Yes, he does.
Poor guy.
I know.
Yeah, he's overworked, I'm sure, like all of us. But oh my goodness. But anyway, that's enough of that.
All right. Well, I'm gonna hop
All
on and watch him too. But y'all have a good night, and thanks again for hopping on with me.
Thank you.
Okay. Good night.
Bye bye.